Boys and girls, DJ Bobby Light here. TAL-Sampler. I am going to show you how to chop up some jungle breaks in it. Jumble. Good God. So we put in a new instance of TAL-Sampler. I'm running at 165 BPM. First thing you need is a sample. I have an aim and break here off to the side that I have already time stretched to fit in a 1-bar loop at 165 BPM. So in TAL-Sampler, when you start off with a new sample, you're going to go into layer A and you can simply drag that sample into there. Then we get this screen here. Now let me very quickly make this a little bit bigger. Oh, I can just grab it in the side there. Perfect. So we're on layer A. We have our break in. I can click on the waveform to go into it. We want to turn off loop and we want to turn off track. And so we have this nice long aim and break in here. What we want to do is chop it up, and I'm going to use the method I've shown before, where we're going to essentially duplicate the full break, but just change the start position of it. First thing to do is to grab this little key zone mapping here and drag it all the way to C3. Alternatively, I can come up here and go to my high key and change that to C3. So our high key is C3, our low key is C3, our root key is C3. So we turn tracking off, and now only the key C3 will play this break at the original pitch. I want that first key to play the full break, but I want to get another key to start playing the break from another section. So I'm going to click copy mapping here, and you'll see we get another entry down here on the key mappings. So if I click that, you'll see it's automatically mapped. So high key C#3, low key C#3, and the root key is increased as well. So it's going to play at the original pitch on this key too. But we want to change that start point, so we come up here, simply grab this start, and move it over. Then we go to copy mapping. And then we drag that start point a little further. Do it again, copy mapping. Maybe we drag that one a little further out. Copy mapping, drag this one a little further out. Cool. So we have the same sample. We haven't duplicated the sample. We've just simply mapped different start points of that sample to different keys here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 keys that start the aim and break from different parts. So that's a very simple mapping there, but what if I wanted to get some variation in that? What I could do is copy this mapping here. And let's say on this one, I want it to play the full sample. But what I'm going to do is transpose it up about 18. Kind of sounds like shit, but what we can do, if we go to back, we go into the layer, we go into the stretch, we can turn on Cyclic. You get that classic Akai time stretch sound, and it sounds really fucking good in here. Just as good as Akai's, or if not good as the actual Akai. And you can mess with the density and get some really wacky stuff. I can double click to get it back. I can mess with the stretch. Right? But that sounds awesome. So let's go back in here and let's duplicate that mapping. So copy mapping. In this one, let me just make sure I'm on the right guy. I am. I'm going to transpose it down. And maybe I reverse it as well. So I can click reverse here. And it will reverse it. Maybe we bump it up a little. There we go. So we have a nice juicy break there. And what I'm going to do is come into my MIDI here. And I'm going to begin to paint some of this in. And let me resize TAL-Sampler off to the side there. So our root note was C3. Let's just build something out real quick. Now, something else that's cool is, well, we can mess with the resampler here. So let's do that first off to the side here in TAL-Sampler. So let's try to get this a little more punchy, a little more aggressive sounding. So let's go to Resampler, set it to S1000. Let's just mess around with this. And actually, what I want to call out here is I'm going to throw in a spectrum on here in the bottom left so we can see what's happening. First thing I want to focus on is the sample rate. I'm going to drop it way down and watch what happens to the higher frequencies. So instantly you're getting this very nice shave off the high end there, just like a real sampler, right? If you drop that sample rate, you're going to lose some of the high end. So it's replicated in here. Then I'm going to go down to 12 bits, increase some hiss and a little saturation. Cool. So that is sounding not too bad. Another fun thing we can do is get in some automation here. So this little tune knob here on the layer, if I just click it and in Bitwig, I expand the automation pane, I can add a lane for 2A and watch what happens when we start to kind of fuck around with this. So I'm going to add in a lane here where we bump up that tune. And we can kind of mess around with this and get some funky stuff. And my automations are getting all fucked up here. I can go all the way down. Get all sorts of craziness in here. So I can keep it all the way over here. Here's a better way to illustrate this. Let's just tweak the knob in real time. So a lot of cool stuff you can do in here with that cyclic time stretch mode there. You can really get some fat sounding sounds out of here. It's a really powerful tool. And I would say this emulation of that cyclic time stretch is way better than the one in Bitwig, to be candid. So really good tool. Again, this resampler here, just a big selling point of it. And then this cyclic time stretch in here is a really good selling point. And it's really not an expensive plugin by any means. I think it's like $65. So you can get that in and build out your breaks in here, going through that old school method, inject some old school flavor in there without needing, multiple plugins. You don't need a Kaiser and a DAC plugin and a saturation. You can do it all through this one thing. And another way to approach it when you build a track in the box is have every track use TAL-Sampler and kind of inject that flavor into each track, sum it up, and you could get something really juicy. Peace out.